often you end up with more produce than you can possibly eat fresh. So it's a good excuse to make preserves, which you can enjoy over the months ahead. I already have a cupboard full of jams and jellies, so this year I'm going to concentrate on making chutneys and pickles. The first one I'm going to make is beetroot chutney. Beetroot's a really easy vegetable to grow. In fact, it's one of the first vegetables I ever grew. You can sow the seeds directly into the soil, then all you need to do is make sure that it's watered well in dry weather, and then as they grow you can thin them out so that those left have enough room to expand. You can then eat the thinnings that you've just taken out. The roots can be simply boiled and eaten as baby beetroot, and you can also eat the leaves in salads. In fact, there are some varieties of beetroot that are grown specifically for their leaves. For example, rainbow chard and perpetual spinach. Beet is actually related to spinach, but it's a lot easier to grow as it doesn't tend to bolt, that is flower prematurely, as easily as spinach. Beetroot is also related to a lot of other useful plants, such as sugar beet, which is used to produce sugar in Britain, and amaranth, a really attractive plant that is grown for its protein-rich grain in Asia and South America. Also, the red pigments in beetroot and related species are an important source of natural red dyes. However, beet is also related to a number of species that are considered to be significant weeds, for example, fat hen. The beetroot I'm going to be using in the chutney is a variety called Boltardy, which is very reliable and resistant to bolting in dry spells like the one we've had this summer. The seeds were sown in April, and I've already harvested quite a few large beets from these rows. I've sown further rows of seeds every few months, and hopefully these will last well into the winter. So to make about 4 medium-sized jars of chutney, I need 600 grams of beetroots, plus 300 grams of onions. I lifted these red onions in August, and they've been drying in a glass house for the last month or so. And I just need to pop over to the orchard to scrump 240 grams of cooking apples, and I'll take my pickings back home to make the chutney. So to make the chutney, first you need to prepare and cook the beetroot. Beetroot needs to be given a quick rinse to get rid of any soil on it, and then you can just remove the leaves simply by twisting them up. So to cook the beetroot, I'm just going to boil it for about 45 minutes until soft. So I've waited for the beetroot to cool, and I'm now going to peel it. The skin should come away very easily, but be warned, if you've just had your nails done, this is a very messy process, so you might want to wear gloves. Next, I've chopped the beetroot into 5mm cubes, and I'm going to add it to a non-aluminium pan. Along with the onions, the apples, 160 millilitres of red wine vinegar, 80 grams of demerara sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt and half a teaspoon of dried ginger. I will now bring all this to the boil, stirring continuously until the sugar has dissolved. And then I will reduce the heat to a simmer, cover the pan and leave it for 45 minutes, stirring occasionally. The chutney is now ready, so I'm going to pour it into sterilised jars while it's still warm. Now this should keep for a few months, but to be honest, it's usually eaten before then. Now we just need to find a recipe that'll use up all these marrows.